Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into the secret of true learning. And let me tell you, the answer comes from some pretty unexpected places. So, have you ever had that experience? You're banging your head against a wall, trying to understand something, and then boom, it just clicks. That aha moment. Well, get this. It turns out even artificial intelligence has its own version of that. And figuring out how it works for a machine, well, that might just unlock the secret to how we learn best. Okay, so our first piece of the puzzle comes straight from the world of AI research. It's this really fascinating phenomenon called grokking. So, what exactly is grokking? Well, imagine an AI model that stops just, memorizing raw data and suddenly starts to get the real underlying principles. It's a huge leap. In the way it makes that leap, it's actually kind of human.
See, the path to grokking isn't about being fast. It's actually a two-step dance. First, the AI does what's called overfitting. Think of it like a student just cramming for a test, memorizing all the answers without really understanding why they're the answers. But then, and this is the cool part, with more training time, something flips. The model moves from that shallow memorization to generalization. It finally gets it. And the understanding it walks away with, it's way stronger, way more flexible, and ready for stuff it's never seen before.
It's the perfect analogy, right? It's the difference between memorizing, say, a phrase in a new language versus actually understanding the grammar so you can build your own sentences. That difference is everything. And what's really wild is that this pattern, this slow, deep learning, it pops up in some very, very different fields. So to really get a handle on this for us humans, we're going to look at two clues from worlds you'd probably never connect: high-stakes finance and, believe it or not, spiritual psychology. Okay, on one hand, you've got this idea from Nassim Taleb called skin in the game, the basic principle. You don't really learn something unless you've got something to lose. Real risk, real consequences. Then, on the complete other side of the spectrum, you have a spiritual text called A Course in Miracles, which is famous for being intentionally hard to understand. So one demands risk, the other demands struggle. What in the world do these have to do with each other? I mean, think about it. Reading a cookbook? That's one thing. But actually cooking a meal for guests where you risk totally burning dinner? That's different. That risk, that skin in the game, forces you to learn on a whole other level. Theory just can't compete with that. And with the Course in Miracles, the difficulty isn't a bug, it's a feature. The whole point of the struggle is to shatter your normal ways of thinking and force you to engage in a much, much deeper way. So, okay, let's take stock. We've got our three clues: an AI that learns slow, a principle that requires risk, and a spiritual text designed to be a struggle. So, what's the hidden thread connecting all of this? This is the core of the mystery. And the answer, it points to a really powerful truth about how we learn. This is where it all clicks. All right, here we go. It turns out that the time delay, the risk, the struggle, they aren't actually separate ideas at all. They're all pointing to the exact same powerful conclusion: the power of slow learning. And this is it. This is the big aha moment of our explainer. True, deep understanding, it's not supposed to be fast. It's not meant to be easy. It's something you earn through struggle and commitment. That difficulty, that delay, it's not a bug in the system. It's a feature. It's the price you pay for that real grokked knowledge. So what are the ingredients for this kind of grokking, whether you're a human or an AI? Well, you need time and patience. You need to see the idea over and over again. You need that intentional difficulty, that struggle. And you need to have some real stakes in it, a personal commitment. Okay, so let's bring this home. What does this all mean for us, living in a world that is just obsessed with life hacks, quick fixes, and easy information? It means we might be looking for knowledge in all the wrong places. And that brings us to the value of what you might call out-of-distribution content. You know, the stuff that's outside the mainstream. The weird, niche, complex articles or videos that don't go viral, but they make you think instead of just scroll. The author of the source material for this explainer, Mark Masahiro Hirayama, shared this amazing story. He wrote this incredibly deep article, right? over 60,000 words long, a massive undertaking. And when he first published it, it got 2 likes. Just 2. But that's exactly the point, isn't it? This kind of niche, out-of-distribution content is what can spark that deep, grokking experience for the handful of people who actually dive in. Immediate popularity isn't the real measure of value. The profound long-term impact on a dedicated few can be worth so much more. So maybe the most valuable things, our next big breakthroughs, are just waiting for us on the other side of a struggle we've been putting off. They're just waiting to be grokked. So I'll leave you with this question. What difficult idea have you been avoiding that might just hold your next aha moment?